But yes, if you've not contributed, you should do that. Everyone should contribute. If you like the game at all, you should definitely look into it. It's fun to contribute. I haven't done it in a long time, but well, I mean, at this point, I would say that I contribute through my content. I don't really contribute through actual contributions anymore. It's hard for me to find the time. There's stuff I want to do to change and to adjust in Cataclysm. Stuff I complain about a lot that could be fixed with a little bit of like roleplay storytelling kind of situation. Like we talked about it before. I had made at one point a gun shop variant that was like supposed to be barricaded to imply that people had kind of holed up there, and it took that location and it told a tiny little story, right? By making that location. Some of the complaints I have, like with the parks, I really think if it's something in the back of my mind, and if someone else wants to do it, that's great. But I would like to get around to it eventually. But like, because there's so much monster density at the park, and it doesn't really make sense. So I thought, like, well, instead of just having a ton of monsters there, why don't we put up some of the canvas tents, like what you see at the military base and stuff like that, and just have like lots of like empty bottles and empty water bottles and maybe a couple pallets of water. And that alone, it doesn't really give a lot of value to the player, so you don't have to worry about like it being unbalanced. And because there's tons of monster density anywhere and anyway, and if you're fighting to get in there, you're just going to get some water and junk. But like that, then instead of being an empty location with tons of monsters, it doesn't make sense. Now it makes sense because it was used as like a temporary staging area during an emergency, and it kind of tells that little story of like, this is where people congregated, but it didn't work out, and now all these people have died. And so, pretty basic, pretty simple, not really a huge thing, but every time I think about doing it, I'm like, no, you know, I have other stuff to do. I have more important things to do. I got to get stuff up on YouTube, or my actual real life gets in the way, or whatever. So I have ideas all the time that I would like to do, and I just never, I never feel like I have the time. Honestly, YouTube is like, I feel overwhelmed all the time. Even though I have a routine and everything, I always feel like, you're not doing enough. You should be, like yesterday I had the day off. I didn't stream or anything, and I ended up writing and doing some other stuff for like a YouTube thing, and I all day was like, why aren't you doing YouTube stuff? You know, you're sitting here. I played Forza a little bit yesterday for like an hour, like barely an hour of my day I spent playing a racing game from, you know, 10 years ago. And I felt guilty the whole time. It was like, you should be doing YouTube stuff. You could be editing videos right now. You know, you could be recording another NPC faction thing. I just always feel like I don't have time to do what I want to do. And then I feel really guilty about it, which I think is really common in people in my generation. We always feel like we have to go, go, go. I don't know. Not to ramble about it. What do we got? D Black says, and another says, I'd love to see more of those. They're great. Yeah, I don't remember why I even made that gun shop variant. I think I was just bored and didn't know what I could contribute. I was like, whatever, you know, try to tell a little story. And there are other locations like that. Like, I think we have a suicide bathroom that can spawn. I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't know if that was maybe removed or something. But I like locations like that that tell you a little bit of something. No. Fat zombie, nothing. Still don't have a stethoscope, so we can't crack the safe. The analyst. Just for fun. No thank you. I don't read books for fun. The adorkable girl. A therapist's daughter transfers to a new school. She decides to change her personality type. As her social life begins to blossom, can she maintain a healthy boundary between her home life and her public persona? That's cute. That's a good description. I like that. We've got that. It's fairly rare. Knight has added a couple things on that line in the past. Yeah, I think they're interesting. You know, I think a lot of people who come to the game, you know, I don't know. I don't even want to generalize. There's a huge variety of people who've contributed to the game over the last, you know, however many years. So it's hard to be like, oh, well, most contributors do this, because they're so widely varied that I can't really generalize everybody. I think they're cool. And I think more places should be like that. Windows are locked. I don't have a crowbar or lockpicks. Do I have lockpicks? No, I think we did, and I probably dropped them somewhere when I was having issues trying to favorite my items. I mean, I like Cataclysm. There's really nothing to be said about it that, you know, I like it, so I'm a biased person. Oh, kid, you made me bleed. So let's look here. You're bleeding. You feel guilty. Yeah, it looks like it is printing the message before the attack message. Okay, so we're bleeding. Where does it say the intensity? Minor bleeding. Yes, okay. 'Tis but a scratch, he says. I'm not really a min-maxer, but I would like to know what the rates are. I'll have to look at the PRs. People are going to want to know. I don't love helping people min-max, but what are you going to do? Let's try a rag. It did stop the bleeding. Okay, so maybe for minor bleeds, rags are good enough. Still, we're going to shift to makeshift bandages once we get back and can craft things. Not really an option at the moment in the dark. Canned salmon, sure. I don't eat enough fish in real life. I tried a new Subway sub last week. They have this picture, I guess it's limited time. It's like all rib meat sub, and I was like, you know what? That sounds pretty good. It's like it says on it, a foot-long rib meat, or a foot-long piece of rib meat, and I was like, you know, that sounds pretty good. You know, I could go for like a barbecue, whatever, some onions and all that, green peppers in there and stuff. So I ordered this sub, and of course it's nothing like what the picture looks like. It's not at all this big, beefy, barbecue slathered rib meat piece. It's two tiny, like 4-inch McRibs, essentially. And I was like, man, it says right on the sign it's one solid piece of rib meat, and here you're handing me two little 4-inch. You know, I don't know. Of course, Subway already had a whole bunch of like lawsuits and stuff relating to their false promotion and whatnot. Like 2 years ago, Subway got in trouble. They had advertised their chicken as like 5% soy or something like that, and then like some folks in Canada actually tested it, and it was like a huge percentage of soy, and they got sued over it. There's a whole thing. So I don't love Subway and the way that they, you know, do things, but I was a little annoyed. I expected one big old hunk of... it's my own fault. What do you expect? It's Subway. Why would you think that they were gonna give you what you know, I don't know. Stop the bleeding again, so that's not a big deal. It's nice to see that's consistent. I was a little concerned it would become, you know, like, oh, we just got lucky the first time. So the only reason I'm clearing this basement is because I want to check that soldier zombie corpse. Really nothing else down there for us. I normally would not want to deal with the roaches, so I normally wouldn't do this, but kind of want to check the soldier zombie corpse. Two-way radio, no. I think that's supposed to be a light battery, so I guess this still has plutonium in it. It does. Molly pack, no. Since they stopped dropping guns, the soldier zombies have become much less valuable. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. Someone commented when I talked about... No, don't smash the little baby roach. Stop catching breath. Oh, I see. Because I was smashing it depleted my stamina, and then the zombie interrupted my stamina recovery. So now I'm fighting with no stamina. So that's exciting. Let's pop upstairs to get our stamina back. I've already looked at the soldier zombie. I mean, I don't know what else is down here. We might as well finish clearing. We've already come this far. Just a bunch of smashed up stuff, a bunch of roach poop. This is a pretty common basement as far as things go. Seeing these a lot lately. Smash, smash, smash. Roach got me twice with the bleed, so that's exciting. Pop upstairs, treat our wounds. You lose some blood. What else is new? And I guess there's no way to see your blood reservoir outside of debug, which makes sense. Most people don't know precisely how much blood is coursing through their system. I assume, though, that there are status effects that would let you know, like, hey, you're starting to feel woozy, you feel kind of dizzy, to let you know that you're approaching the brink of death. And presumably losing blood wouldn't kill you outright, it would just make you pass out and then you would get killed by something else. So I assume there are indicators already implemented that would let us know if we were getting dangerously low. That's the hypovolemia I referred to. Oh, I see. I thought that was a trait. I thought you were talking about, oh, if you take a trait that makes you more bleedy. Oh, which is not hypovolemia. What's that called? Hemophilia. That's what I was thinking. I thought you were talking about a trait you would take that would cause you to bleed more frequently. Okay. Well, that's good. Then we'll have an idea if we're approaching death, and we'll know to stay inside for a little while. Wood saw we'll take, because they're not super common. Salt water, no. Pretty empty cupboards, unfortunately. Let's check this back room. It's just a little bathroom. What do you got? Bleach, soap bar. Really wish it would display the number of charges, because I don't know if this is a full container or not. Total capacity, pocket 1, 3.75, no, 2.13 liters. 17 bleach. Okay. It is there. I just have to scroll down. 17. You know, we're probably heading back. Why don't we load up on some chemicals? Give me the ammonia as well, if there's enough in it. Scroll down. 2 liters. Sure. Okay. I don't care. It's fine. You'll make more. I mean, I'm making blood right now, probably. That's a good idea. We should add hemophilia. Never stop bleeding. Yeah, I don't know. I remember being a teenager, and I don't think I knew the kid, but someone was talking about it, and it sounded like it was a death sentence. Like, I don't know how bad it actually is to live with hemophilia, but it was like, it sounded really scary when they talked about it. Like, this kid can't go out and play. He can't go, like, he can't play football with us. He has to constantly take medication with him in case he would have an issue, and like, it sounded really scary. I don't know what it's really like though. I don't think I've met anyone with hemophilia really, or at least as an adult I didn't. Definitely take a leather trench coat when you can find one. We'll just throw it on for now and wear it back to base. So let's head on back here. See something up here. Help zombie. What was the other thing I saw? To my north, it's gone now. No, it's not. What is this? Oh, hello. It's a squirrel. And there's that kitty cat we saw stuck in the pavilion here. You're probably going to get murdered, cat. There's a lot of monsters around here. The cop zombie, not really a concern. That would be a hard mode run. Any hit could potentially kill you, even a scratch. Well, bleeding, just from what little I've played here, it seems really common. You gotta remember, I'm wearing full plate armor, and I'm still being inflicted bleeding wounds on my arms and stuff, so I don't really understand. Like, the odds of me actually getting hit are pretty low through the armor. So the fact that I've been bleeding 5, 6, 7 times already seems like, you know, it's extremely common. And I'm sure that would be incredibly difficult as a hemophiliac. 16 bash, 16 cut. I'm surprised they're getting through this at all. Oh, it's only 95% coverage. That's probably why. They're just hitting that 5% where they get through the armor. Because these guys, these early game characters are not going to be able to make it through the plate armor. They're not going to beat the armor protection, I mean. Let's head over here. Those are more like minor nicks, the kind you can probably just let bleed. I haven't examined it too much or played with it to see what the whole deal is there. Yeah, I probably should have looked at it in detail when it happened. Like I said, I've seen people talking about it on Discord, and you know, you pick up little things here and there, but not really anything substantial, so I'll have to look at it and do some testing. I've been real lazy about testing lately. The experimental Cataclysm episodes are like, I've been doing them like the day before I post them now, and I really should spend more time reading to understand things, because people expect you to explain it to them. And more lately I'm finding that I have episodes where I'm like, I haven't really looked at this yet, so figure it out for yourself, which is not is the opposite of good content. So Have to work on that. Okay. Let's make a big batch of makeshift bandages. I hear what you're saying. We could just let them bleed. I don't really love that. I think I'm gonna treat most of my wounds if I have the opportunity to do so. If they're minor wounds and we're in a pinch, we'll let them bleed, but might as well take care of it. In fact, right here is 6 makeshift bandages. How many do we have? Rags? No, not hub. Rags? We have 6 rags. Really? Okay. Well, we've been sleeping in that room, so let's just smash up this bed here for some materials. We'll haul this over. Oh, it's gonna ruin our sorting zones. That's okay, we can just auto sort. We haven't auto sorted in a while, so let's do that. I should save my game as well. There's been some bugginess going on that's caused us some issues in the past here. You drop your CX Storm on the floor. Great. Save the game, please. That didn't duplicate anything? No, we're still good on our storms. No, now we have 9. We had 8 a minute ago. Maybe we had 9 and they were just on a different tile. I don't know. Keep forgetting I have the storm. How's our ammo? Ammo's fine. Yeah, we're good. We don't need the blood-soaked rags. We'll drop those outside for fear of them drawing bears or something. God only knows in the Cataclysm. So let's start a fire here. Make a bunch of bandages. Refillable lighter. Oh, so my weekend was not amazing. I had a little bit of a rough weekend. So if you don't know, I drive for a living, which most of you should know by now. I drive for a living, and my job is not very good. I have the main reason I have this job is because I have pretty crippling anxiety and stuff. So for me, it works because I get to work on my own. I don't really need to worry about you know, being in a factory surrounded by people, that kind of stuff. So it's a good fit for me for the most part. Gotta go, man. Early morning tomorrow. We'll finish watching tomorrow. See you next time. Have a good time, murder. Peace out, homie. Have a nice night. Thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping in. You're a constant presence in the stream, so thanks for being here. What was I doing and saying? Oh, we were making bandages. Let's gather some water. We'll make full on. No, because I wanted like low tier bandages, so we'll just go with makeshift. We'll take 6 of them with us. How big are the bandages? Not big at all. We'll take all of them. Just because, why not? Check our inventory. Why are you not stacking? You should stack. Can I, if I favorite you both, will you stack? Nope. Okay. Well, whatever. Anyway, it's only a half liter, so that's fine. We also don't need 60 aspirin in our inventory, and we don't need these antibiotics either. So over the weekend, work was, you know, not great. In general, my job is not very good. I get paid a very, very low amount of money, and a lot of that money goes directly into my car for car repairs, gas prices, things like that. Gas prices have been continuing to go up. We had a real nice period there in like February to April or May where it was very low gas prices and was amazing and really helpful for people like me. But now the gas prices are going back up. So, you know, I always put a lot of my income right into the car, which is a point of frustration for me, is that I never have money. You know, I do buy things for myself, but for the most part, I buy my food, I pay for car repairs, and that is it. Every now and then I'll buy a new game or a bundle on like Humble Bundle or whatever for nice and cheap, but I don't buy games when they come out. I always buy secondhand or older games, that kind of thing. And I pay, people always say, well, you play WoW, so you pay for your WoW subscription. I actually pay for my WoW subscription with in-game currency because I make enough money to do that. So, you know, it's always a tricky financial situation for me in general regarding my life and you know, surviving and stuff like that. So I'm already stressed about work most of the time, and I don't enjoy my job. They don't really treat us like people. They treat us pretty bad. Like 2 years ago on the 4th of July, I had to wait like 6 hours for my products because they just weren't there. And that whole time I'm in the parking lot, they're saying, oh no, they're coming. They should be here in 20 minutes. They should be here in 30 minutes. And then it was like 6 hours, and they don't pay me for that time. They only pay me for what I do. Like, it's a piece thing, and I don't get paid a salary or an hourly rate. So it's like they just screw me out of all those hours of my life. So it's always a point of frustration when I get stuck in the parking lot or whatever. And on Saturday, you don't have the necessary tools to butcher string? That's not correct. I have a steak knife in my hands. Butcher. No corpses to butcher. You don't have the tools to disassemble. You cannot disassemble this. Since when? Give me my string. Disassemble. It's just not working on the ground for some reason? Okay, that's annoying, because that's going to slow down my ability to harvest thread, but that's okay. So work in general is like a constant frustration. I do my best to just keep a level head and stay calm. You know, lately I've been listening to Critical Role, so I just sit in my car and you know, listen to a podcast and stuff. But you know, it gets frustrating. And then on Saturday, things were late, and I was like, okay, you know, settle in. It's going to be a long night of us waiting for our stuff. And they showed up pretty reasonably quick. And the lady who like brings the main supply trucks in, she says, "Oh, by the way, we just don't have product for one of your routes." I was like, "Okay, what is that? What am I doing? Just they don't get product?" She said, "Oh no, we're just gonna make you do 2 routes one day instead of 1." It's like, no, you know, I don't want to do. You can't do that to me. You know, I have a schedule. I do other things. I have a life outside of this place. You don't pay me enough money to do this, you know. And it was a whole big thing, and I was so angry that they just assumed like, oh well, on Sunday you can just do double the amount of work, and we're gonna pay you the exact same amount though. So even though you're gonna end up driving like 40 extra miles, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. So that was a real point of frustration over the weekend. And ultimately what it came down to was like, I just don't have a say in it. So I ended up doing it. And it's like, I just let these people walk all over me. And it's upsetting, you know. I don't know how to explain it. You probably just don't understand because you're not in that position. But basically it's just, I have a job that asks too much and does not compensate me appropriately. And I imagine that's probably something people can relate to, is doing a lot of work and not really getting recognized for it. So, excuse me. So that was not a great weekend for me. Excuse me, my throat is suddenly acting up. So I didn't have a good time with that. And then just in general was just having a crappy weekend. Tried to turn it around, so I was like, you know, let's invest in something that I actually value, that I can say, oh, I've made progress, I feel pretty good about. So, you know, I turned my attention to the YouTube stuff. I got the music downloaded, all the music that you're hearing in the background, I got that downloaded. I secured the licensing for it, so I didn't have to worry about copyright infringement or anything like that. And I started doing some stuff for YouTube with my writing, and that made me pretty happy to just be working on something with my writing again. I don't know when or if that's coming to the channel exactly. I'm feeling very on the fence. My idea basically, so I wrote a book, a novel. I didn't write a book because writing a book requires you to get published, but about 3 years ago I wrote a novel, and it's pretty okay. I like it. I don't think most people would like it, but I like it. And I was really struggling, like I want to do something with my writing on YouTube, but I can't really think of what to do, and it's hard to keep to a schedule with my writing. So like if I start a project, I need to be able to consistently output videos on a schedule that people can rely on. So I was like, you know, I've written like 6 novels over the last decade. Why don't I just take a random novel that I wrote, rework it as I go, and read it for YouTube, you know? And so I settled on the one. There was a basement somewhere back here that we didn't go into. and I would like to check it. So we're going to backtrack through some of these houses and see which one had the basement. In fact, we should just be able to look, right? It'll remember all those tiles. It was this one. Okay, so we'll go back and check this basement. I was like, you know, just pick a book, pick a novel and read it. So I was looking through my novels and I was like, which one do I think people would like the most? And like the first big one is like zombies and werewolves and vampires and weird harpies, all kinds of weird monsters. I was like, that's too much. You know, people always told me that was too much stuff in one story, so probably not that one. A machete multi-tool. A thin, wobbly steel blade with saw teeth on one side and a flat chisel tip for digging. A jack of many trades and a master of none. Yeah, that sounds terrible. I would rather just have tools and a machete rather than a machete that functions as tools. That sounds like an awful item that I wouldn't have added to the game. What all does it have? Digging, cutting, prying, wood sawing. How do you pry with a machete without breaking a machete? Flat chisel tip for digging. Yeah, but it says it's a thin, wobbly steel blade. How is that a prying tool? I mean, I guess it's just prying one, so it's not like you're popping doors with it, but whatever, I don't care. Anyway. So that first novel I don't think would be good because I think people would just be like, this is too much stuff. And so I was like, you know, maybe not that one. The next one was like zombie apocalypse, and I'm like, you know, that's exactly what my audience likes. And I found the manuscript the other day. I haven't completely digitized that one. It was written on a typewriter a long time ago. And I just don't think people... I don't think the story is as good. I think there's a lot of... I was going through a lot in my personal life at the time. So I think it really shows a lot of my, like, kind of messed up mental health side of things. Homebrew beer, dandelion wine, and nothing. Go ahead and have a drink since we're here. Fruit wine, where's their... Oh, it's in the gallon jug of wine. No, give me... Well, what will put us in the best mood? Spiced mead. Sure. What do you spice mead with? What kind of spice, I wonder? Because mead is very sweet, right? That's the honey one? Whatever, have a swig of that. That'll put you in a good mood. Made us hungry for some reason. I thought, you know, that story is like, you know, it's one of my favorites, but like reading it back, all I could see is like what I was going through, and you can totally tell on the page that I'm going through something, and like, you know, it's a little too emotional. I don't think people would respond very well for it. Let's save our game since I keep forgetting. Good morning, says Drunken Slender. Well, it's like 6 p.m. here, but absolutely good morning to you, sir and or madam, and or, you know, I don't know what else you refer to. Everyone else, I guess. You just say everyone else, like ladies, gentlemen, and I guess you don't say those things anymore, do you? You don't say ladies and gentlemen. You say everyone, because that's more inclusive than specifying it. Anyway, not that anyone cares about that. But hello, yes, hello, Drunken Slender. Welcome back to the stream. Sorry, I'm a bit off.